Without a doubt, my absolute most favorite developer, Naughty Dog. I think the first PS1 game that I really played was Crash Bandicoot Warped, and that was the game that I pretty much went to the very end on, and found out later that it was Naughty Dog. And the entire reason I wanted to get a PlayStation 3 was from the Uncharted commercial for Uncharted Drake's Fortune back in like 2006 or something like that.
Yeah.
And played Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4, Uncharted Lost Legacy, The Last of Us on PS3, The Last of Us on PS4, The Last of Us Part 2 on PS4. I bought it on, it's the PS4 version that I played on PS5. And I am interested in the show because everybody's saying it's good. And there's like certain clips from the show that I've seen where I'm like, damn, that does kind of look good. It does kind of look good. I watched the documentary on the making of The Last of Us that Naughty Dog made themselves and put out. And without a doubt, my favorite game, it's very hard to determine between Uncharted and The Last of Us, but the one that I greatly enjoy the story and the gameplay, and I always think about it and want to come back to it, is Uncharted 2. Sorry, okay. Uncharted 2 takes the fucking cake because that's the one where, if we're talking about best multiplayers, which we'll go into in a future episode, but Uncharted 2, one of my favorite multiplayers of all time, and we spent so many hours on that game playing through the story. So yesterday I was watching Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark because it's been a while since I've seen it. Me and Bella were sitting on the couch watching it. And I was thinking about, okay, why is it that I liked Uncharted 2 better than Uncharted 3? Because I've heard people say if Uncharted 3 came out in 2009 and Uncharted 2 came out in 2011, everybody would think Uncharted 3 is their favorite. But everybody thinks Uncharted 2 is their favorite just because it came out before Uncharted 3. And I'm like, no, I don't agree with that. Yeah. Because Uncharted 3 is cool, but there's certain things in that game that just kind of throw me off and just kind of like, I didn't really enjoy it over the second one. But the number one thing that I enjoyed the most about the second one was just Lazarevich and the mercenaries. Because he's loading up this train, tanks, a full army, rolling into the Himalayan mountains to find Shangri-La. And it's just like bulldozing his way through these sacred artifacts. Yeah. He's just the definition of a bad guy. Like the classic Indiana Jones going against Hitler and the Nazis, bad guy.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Uncharted 2 better than Uncharted 3. Because Uncharted 3 was trying to, oh man, Drake's past. The deception of Drake is coming back to haunt him with Marlowe. And it's a little more niche and detailed. It's like, Lazarevich is like, puny Drake. He doesn't give a fuck about Drake. It's not like they're mortal enemies. It's just, oh, I'm doing this thing. You're in my way. Get the hell out the way. And Drake's got to go against this unstoppable force of Lazarevich's army. And it's like, oh, shit. Can he? It's the classic Indiana Jones story where it's like they got the resources, but he's got the knowledge. It's not like Marlowe where there's also like some little bit of mysticism and like mystical powers.
Yeah.
But that they don't really like they hint at, but they don't capitalize on.
Yeah.
So, as far as favorite game from the Uncharted franchise and Naughty Dog, Uncharted 2 is definitely my favorite game. I have a really soft spot for Uncharted 1 as well. Like that, like I've beaten that game like 10 times. That's like a really, really soft spot. But Uncharted 2 just took it to the next level. And I watched all the behind the scenes of the actors and all them talking about making of the game for Uncharted 2. And I know a lot of people are like, man, you just really talked up The Last of Us and then went hard on Uncharted 2.
You went hard on us too.
But Uncharted 2 is more of like the nostalgia as well from 2009. Coming home from school, just blazing through the story. But yeah, Uncharted 2 from Naughty Dog.
All right, bet. From Naughty Dog, I would have to go with the Uncharted as well because even though my history was Crash Bandicoot, that was the first like Naughty Dog game I've really ever played. Crash
Hmm.
Team Racing has to be up there. As far as another one, and I will have to add that to like Activision as well because it was like Naughty Dog Activision. I don't know how that went or how long that was. I think Naughty Dog started off, but Crash Team Racing, as far as hours played, I probably played that the most, even after Uncharted 2, because that game, me and my cousin, we played that almost every single night when I used to live with them.
Yeah,
And Crash, what was that dude's name? Dang, I forgot what his name is in the game. But that game just racing, and now that they recreated it on the PS4, I
yeah,
believe, and we played it on PS5 together. You actually enjoyed it. You don't even really like racing games, but you enjoyed it as well.
yeah.
Um, and it's like I like the skill that you have to have behind it. Like that one person we played with, dude
Oh
was just like
God, yeah.
dusting us. Oh, she was dusting us around the track like 3 times. But yes, number two had to be Crash Team Racing, but number one is definitely Uncharted 2. Pretty much like he said, the game it was just different. It had like cutscenes. It had a story. Like nowadays, games lack that story, like that feel. I love games that make you feel like, oh shoot, that game was awesome. And I believe that was one of the first games that really did that. Especially being a PS3 game, it really sold the PS3. That type of game right there was the reason
Literally,
why
it
people
did.
bought it. Yeah. And I'm
Literally, it
glad I
did.
waited. And I got the Game of the Year edition. It got Game of the Year, so you know it was good. Because I remember you and McGavin was telling me about it. And I was like, yo, I gotta get it, and I'm glad I waited because I got all the DLC for free pretty much.
Yeah.
And that was like the second game I really played online. Period. And I'm glad it was with y'all because y'all told me about it. And I was like, okay, cool. I played more multiplayer with y'all than I did the story. Like I did the story like a year
Same.
later or something like that. Um,
Same.
but going through the story and was like, wow, this is sick. What was it? Tenzin was in that game, and
Yeah.
just the quotes that we still talk about to this day. Uncharted 2 was that game, and they have the remastered version, not the on PS5, but the PS4 collection or whatever. By the way,
Hmm.
PS4 PlayStation collection is going down May 9th, so if y'all don't have those games, please add it to your library. And they say you can still keep it.
What
And
do you
I
mean
believe
PlayStation
the
Collection?
Uncharted. Remember the if you have a PS5, guys, the
Oh,
PlayStation collection is like uh, a collection full of games that's like from the PS4 or PS3, depends on if they was remastered or not. And it goes away May 9th, but they said if you add them to your library, you can keep them. And Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 is on that list because it's the collection. So there you go, remaster. So if y'all haven't played it, the multiplayer does not work if y'all have PS Now or whatever. So Killzone 3, Uncharted 2, Resistance 3, with all those multiplayer games do not work no more because the servers are down. But at least you can enjoy the single player mode.
yeah. Yep. And then you said May 9th for the PlayStation Collection.
Yes. So
Yeah.
add those to the library, and they'll still work.
Okay, cool. Because I didn't even know that. So, um, yeah, and everybody who's screaming at the top of their lungs listening to this, yes, we understand and know that Jack and Dexter was made by Naughty Dog. Jack and Dexter, the Precursor Legacy, Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack X Combat Racing. Yes, we know. And they're
And I
amazing.
played
Yeah.
it. I played
And
it.
they're
I played the
amazing.
first one and platinum it. Yes, that
I
was great.
don't like the first one at all. But I got Jack 2 and Jack 2 and the Jack 1 at the same time. And then Jack 3 came out later and I fucking loved it. And Jack X Combat Racing came out and I fucking loved it. So, yes, Jack and Dexter holds a special place in my heart as well. Okay?